One of the biggest categories in crypto has been tokenized assets, and today is going to be a show that breaks down what the real estate market might look like with tokenization. I think you guys are going to love it. My name is Paul Barron. Welcome back into Tech Path. Let's just jump right into it. I want to go to a clip that's a little bit older, but it gives us an insight as to where the future is going. Take a look.
A Pinellas County realtor is selling a house as an NFT at auction. It's a first of its kind in the country.
I think this could very well be where real estate transfers go in the future.
But it's going to be fascinating to see if they actually sell it as an NFT. And I know we're going to be following it. Let everybody know.
Well, the Gulfport house up for sale as an NFT or non-fungible token is now off the market.
It's a first real estate transaction as an NFT in the United States.
Two anonymous bidders made offers in the online auction, but one came out on top. The house sold for about 210 Ethereum, a type of cryptocurrency. With one down, now it's on to the next.
The next big thing for our industry will be automation of the transaction. So 4 years ago, I moved here in Silicon Valley to make the change.
Propy is a real estate marketplace that is utilizing blockchain to automate real estate purchases.
How big a deal is cryptocurrency?
So the cryptocurrency market today is $360 billion. We believe it can get up to several $1 trillion market quite soon.
All right, as you can see, that was the CEO of Propy, Natalia Karayaneva. And she pretty much kind of hit it on the head in terms of where the market was going. If you just look at the Propy website, Florida was the home of the first U.S. real estate NFT. If you look at their website, you can kind of see has a very similar feel to a Zillow. Today's going to be an interesting episode. I want to welcome in the CEO of Propy. Hey, Natalie, how are you?
Hi, Paul. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, I want to make sure I get your name right. It's Natalia Karayaneva. Yes. So let's get into Propy a little bit. And first of all, I want to just talk about that experience because you kind of hit it on the head. We went back several years on that video clip that we just played, and you were talking about the future of crypto. Clearly, that's where we are now. A lot of insight to that. When you look at the real estate market and the potential for it, obvious, but the challenges that you're going to be facing in general, what do you think is the biggest issue we've got to deal with right now?
I think the biggest issue in the real estate on-chain direction is really the adoption and the awareness of both the industry players as well as consumers. This way of transacting provides us the opportunity to save on transfers. Right now, we lose about 10% of home values in transferring this asset class. $25 billion is the title insurance business itself. But not many people are aware of this way of transacting. Just like when Bitcoin was too early or other blockchain projects, now they are on the path to mass adoption. Coinbase has over 100 million users. So it's just about the timing when we will get to that kind of scale.
What's the transaction number right now today?
It's a great question because we transact in two ways. One way is the closing through our licensed title and escrow company that are traditional dollar-paid transfers, but we utilize our proprietary technology, our platform that is enabled by AI and smart contracts. There we did about $4 billion in transacting, recording deeds on chain, recording transactions on chain. And then those NFTs have been only 4 so far, but we're about to scale it this year because we will be offering one innovative solution for loans, for mortgages, that would definitely enable this path. And I like to compare those two tracks of business to Netflix. When Netflix introduced their business, it was basically competing with offline blockbuster company that was focusing on penalizing the consumer. And Netflix introduced online CDs. Now we are introducing those title on chain, but it's still kind of this feel of the CDs or a little bit outdated way of transacting. While the NFTs, it's the streaming ownership on-chain track for us. Right. And even though we have invented and did only a couple of those, this will absolutely transform the industry.
You know, most people are kind of, you know, they're accustomed to Zillow, Redfin, et cetera. What would be the key to draw them into a Propy experience?
The way we're similar and different from Zillow is that eventually Propy will become a transactional marketplace. And a marketplace that's business model is applicable to other countries. So it has the potential to become global. Zillow cannot be global because the business model is very attuned to the US market. And it's also transactional. They have the ambition to become, but without this transformative technologies such as settlement via smart contracts, in my opinion, it's not possible to fully automate the transaction.
What aspects of Propy are decentralized?
That's a great question. And the decentralization is key to what we do because real estate really behaves as a digital asset. What we move is not the walls. We are moving the record of ownership because we're not relying on a government to keep the records. We should not be relying. Or when the settlement happens, also, why are we relying on so many? About 20 people in a transaction are involved in one closing, where instead we could rely in a secure settlement protocol and records on a decentralized blockchain. But as we have more projects integrated, the Web3 projects such as Parcel and so on, we have more awareness, and Chainlink as well. We have more awareness about the deals in real estate as well as the closing. And if the closing is secure with open data, then we would save to the consumers between 5 to 10% of home values when they purchase those properties. And another very important point is that the new generation are afraid of bureaucracy. They would invest more in real estate if it's a simpler and more enjoyable process. They love buying NFTs, buying crypto because it's fun, secure, it's the new generation. So if we provide this user experience to new generation, which we've seen with some of our NFTs, then obviously consumers will definitely be more interested in this wealth creation, and the liquidity of the real estate market would increase. Right now, we're seeing about 5 to 7 million homes sold annually in the US. I would predict this number to double or triple as this new generation are moving from one city to another city. And if the housing transaction specifically is more affordable, then why not, instead of renting, those consumers to acquire homes as they move? The other part that I'd like to point out is that many states actually are describing in laws that the blockchain records could serve as an evidence in court. So when consumers put their deeds on chain through Propy and PropyKeys, they can get to the court and prove the ownership if something happens with the county records, because unfortunately every single year there are deed fraud cases, county hacks. Over $400 million were lost last year in that kind of cases.
Yeah, and I look at, you know, the ramp of first-time home buyers. If you go back to 2019, it was a very small percentage. 2020, growing a little bit, continued to grow in 21. This coming from Redfin, of people who are using or increasingly selling crypto to help with their down payments. So I'm just kind of curious, that transaction, obviously if Propy comes in and opens up an opportunity there, they don't need to sell it right then, you're just using it in terms of the transaction. Do you have any numbers on where the market is today for, say, 22 to 24 in terms of those kinds of transactions?
Last year, probably it was a slight decrease in that, and this year we'll see another spike.
What about, okay, so I'm looking at the real world assets here, and obviously we see private credit there, U.S. Treasuries, stable coins, commodities, and then real estate coming soon. Is Propy going to maybe be added to this tracking mechanism?
Yeah, we're talking to this team. They're doing a fantastic job. So currently we're working on adding the deeds that we have tokenized, the RWA NFTs. Overall, this real estate, real world asset trend is growing. First, of course, the stable coins, private credit, bonds, and bills to be tokenized. And the next big category is real estate on chain, which it will be a very quickly growing part of the RWA.
Overall market size, what it would look like in the next 3 years? Where do you have any anticipation of where the market's trending?
Absolutely. So currently, real estate is the largest asset class in the world, with $300 trillion being locked in real estate. Obviously, with some big players, not only Propy, but a couple of other great projects where we're working with institutions, and institutions are more than ever open to collaborate with Web3 companies. I think this category will grow. Currently, probably there are $1 to $2 billion recorded on chain. Probably this would grow into $20-50 billion market within 12 months, and then hopefully to $1 trillion very fast, giving into account having those institutions that I know that are in conversations with companies like Propy.
I'm looking here at the PropyKeys, and walk us through this. You can go in and mint the address on chain. Kind of walk me through this.
PropyKeys is the new ecosystem project within Propy. It allows to mint a home address. You can see here tier 1, mint an address on base and just get your home address or your friend's address in your wallet, which is very fun layer to engage and own anything from PFP to domain and now to your address. You can mint your favorite coffee shop, an event, and so on. But the main utility really is coming on tier 2 and tier 3. That's the most innovative part, in my opinion. With tier 1, you play, you do daily challenges, you can rent it out back to the protocol. With the deed NFT, and we're having an increasing number of people that are willing to put their deed on chain in their crypto wallet. This allows another secure way to store your ownership. And the RWA NFT, that's the one that you showed the videos about in the beginning, where you can actually sell your property within hours on chain or use your property as a collateral in a DeFi protocol that are still evolving. They're being built, and that's what we're about to announce very soon.
Are these the ones that have been minted so far?
Absolutely. Around 150,000 home addresses have been minted since March 13th. That was the official launch of this protocol. And you can see that Miami has probably about 1,000 of NFTs. New York has a lot. Singapore. It's all over the world.
All right, I want to get into the utility side of the Propy token. I'm looking here on Propy for buyers and sellers. Then you've got the agent side, and then even all the way into crypto transactions. Talk to me a little bit about utility, how this is going to work with the token.
So whenever we close a transaction on chain, whether it's the NFT form or a longer 30-day closing where people are paying in dollars using a traditional mortgage, there is a settlement that is being done by smart contracts, and there is a settlement fee in Propy tokens. So with every single transaction, there is a fee in Propy tokens that is adding to the security of the protocol. And then the second utility is those minting of addresses can happen only with Pro token payment. And finally, the third utility is the loyalty program, where if agents are inviting consumers or other agents, they are receiving Propy tokens as a reward, as well as when they perform transactions the way we are seeing the industry with more transparency and providing more control to the consumer, then we also incentivize them with Propy tokens. And most likely we'll launch other projects in our ecosystem that will use Propy tokens for different activities. We had a partnership with the Coinbase wallet team, and right now you can get the wallet app, not only the Coinbase app, where you can earn $1 in Propy token. Yeah, that's the one. So you're learning what is Propy, what is deed on chain, what's the mission of Propy, and then you earn $1 in Propy token. Then you get the Coinbase wallet, and the wallet guides you to mint a home address and then to put your deed on chain. And the deed on chain is automated, so you pay in Propy token, and then within 24 hours, we get your deed from different databases that we are integrated with. We verify the data. You have to be the owner, thus you have to pass a KYC process. Yes, that's exactly it. And then it's automatically stored in your wallet with encryption. So this private and sensitive data is actually encrypted. It's visible for you, and you can unlock it for authorities or for whoever you need to prove your ownership to.
So this could get a little bit viral here. I mean, if you get enough people kind of coming into it, because there's really very low cost to be able to go through that process all the way up to minting the deed itself.
Absolutely, that's the goal. We start with the top of the funnel, mint your address, and 80,000 home buyers already minted their homes and claim that they are the owners. Now we're guiding them to put the deed where we verify the owners themselves, the deed themselves. We know everything about this home, and then we guide them further to put it on chain and then sell it as an NFT, as an RWA NFT. And we actually are launching about 10 properties soon as NFTs from this funnel that further hopefully will scale. This property that you showed in the beginning, it has, these are the numbers. This property that you showed allows for instant transfer of a property without a lien, without a mortgage on it. Now we're inventing the process for properties that have liens. And then we will also add a loan for prospective buyers.
Well, I think that's going to be the key. Obviously, when you start to tie into the loan industry, that's going to really open up some minds, I think, in how this potentially could work. Let's talk about the agent side of it. The certified agents, I'm looking here at your website, Crypto for Real Estate here now. So you've got the certified agent process, how to sign up.
We are recommending them, if they want an agent, they should pick an agent from those that are certified, because they understand the security of wallets and the whole process.
Is the meta agent side of this just the avatar or the NFT of the certified agents? Is that how that works?
So these are the Meta PFP avatars that have two utilities. One utility is access to a metaverse class. So it's the next level of education where we have more 3D models, education and how it ties to Web3. And then the second utility was access to two summits that we're having here in Miami, Web3 AI and Real Estate Summit.
Are we going to need real estate agents in the future, or would this be something that's just available on an Amazon or other marketplaces out there, even if you went down to where it was on Propy itself?
I like the fact that you mentioned Amazon, because I potentially see the evolution of automated transactions not to be on Zillow, but on Amazon or Coinbase or some bigger marketplaces that are selling other types of assets, broader assets, would have a Propy-enabled marketplace within it. In terms of who will remain in terms of the middlemen in the industry, there will be jobs for all, because as the technology evolves, there are more opportunities and kind of more skills that we need, security, data collection, and whatnot. With the NAR commission lawsuits that consumers are pushing against the size of the commission, we know that many low-producing agents will be pushed out, and the most professional will remain. And as I mentioned, if we have, instead of 5 million homes sold, we'll witness 20 million homes sold in the US, agents will probably remain in the industry, especially the seller agents, when they need to help the consumer to prepare the home for sale, such as inspection reports. Even though, again,
that's
a lot
a different
of
kind
things
of
will
service,
be automated.
though. Yeah, a little bit of different kind of service.
They may help with negotiations, staging, helping with the negotiations. And if the consumer is moving to a different state, they may want somebody, a human, to hold their hand. So again, it's not our job to really disrupt the agents. We work with agents, but we hope that only professional ones will remain in the industry, not the part-time agents that are serving their friends or family.
Yeah, no, I understand. Let's get into the roadmap a little bit here, because this is important. I think I was looking at your roadmap. You've got a lot happening. Anything specific out of this that is really ramped up and on schedule, or that you can share with us today?
I think the most important innovations here, our next version of Propy AI. Last year, we definitely were the first mover in the PropTech space with our AI tool, understanding and reviewing, that's the video, reviewing purchase agreements and other transaction documents. It allowed the transaction to be a self-driving for the consumer. So now we have buyers starting the process during the weekend, on the holidays. The transaction starts on its own. The consumer gets online banking instructions. They connect their account in the bank and they transfer the deposit right away on the weekends in the evening. And then the seller knows, okay, the deal is happening. So that was a big aha moment for our consumers and agents. And then the next step would be reviewing all the reports, title reports, the history, and closing documents. So we red flag in advance and help the closing team to be ahead of all the reviewing process. That's a big one that will help us to really streamline the settlement protocol, because all our AI tools are feeding the accurate data to the settlement protocol that is better than the human interaction with documents.
Yeah. In your Q4, the RWA era through your REIT partnerships, that's kind of unique and new. Is that on track?
Yes, this one is on track. We're currently talking to 3 REITs. So hopefully one of them will close by Q4. That's our goal, and so far we're on track. Eventually, the settlement protocol will be the Bloomberg-like terminal, the back office for REITs.
I want to run over to a clip real quick. This is a clip on AR, VR around home buying in the near future. Take a look.
Let's see how this looks. Enter VR mode. A 1-bedroom that's available right now.
There are 543 listings available in this area.
Hello, Olivia. Welcome to the Hooper.
Hello.
This loft is just over 1,000 square feet, and it has 2 bathrooms.
Oh, I love this kitchen. Oh, my art looks perfect there.
So I wish I could do this right now. You know, being able to, rather than going out and have to look at all the properties, you know, being able to kind of really get a full understanding. You look at, is this something that you see coming down the line for what you guys are going to try to do?
Absolutely. All those innovations are available today. They're like Lego pieces that are already, they have been invented. Now it's this inflection time in the history of real estate where somebody needs to connect those Lego pieces. So besides Matterport, that has been doing a fantastic job in 3D mapping and 3D creation of this huge, I think they have about 5 million homes already digitized in this form. There is another startup here in Miami also competing with Matterport. It's a matter of who will be the winner and who will do this settlement, on my opinion. Who will execute the settlement? Because the transactional marketplace comes with its beauty that you can incentivize the community members, including agents, that will have the incentive to put those 3D models in the marketplace. Zillow does not do that. They kind of tried. You can find some tours, but it's still not there. So imagine if we motivate agents and consumers to put those 3D models in a marketplace with tokens. And then the quality and the user experience for the consumer will be much better. So they can do all those things in the video, and then the final step will be click, get the mortgage approved, and transact, buy this home now. So I don't think we're that far from that future.
Well, I think anytime you add value to it, it's the whole map to earn concept. We talked to the Over the Reality project before. They're kind of going in this direction. I just wonder how many other of these kinds of technologies are going to continue to grow. So, especially when you start to lay it into real estate, which is one of the biggest opportunities out there, just because look at just what Matterport has been able to do. So, man, a lot of...
And there is just one more point, because even the regulation is on our side in the real estate innovation, because last year, Freddie Mac and other mortgage corporations, government corporations, they approved a waiver for appraisal. So if you use one of 8 apps that analyzes your home with AI, similar to what you have just shown in the Matterport video, then your appraisal could be waived. And obviously it's another layer for the settlement. If the appraisal is there, you even don't need the inspection reports. It's all built in and reviewed by AI.
Yeah, I could see this being a huge opportunity, especially being an open concept around real estate, because it does, for the buyer and seller, unless you're a nefarious seller, that's out there trying to get things over on people, which is good. That's going to kind of clean out the bad guys in the industry, which will be that's a good thing. So, Natalia, it's been great having you on the show today. Thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Paul.
You bet. All right, so you guys are maybe tuned in on the podcast. Make sure and jump over to the YouTube channel. It's a great place to get additional content. You can also join our Diamond Circle. It's very easy. Just click the link down below. Gets you into our private member group, gets you an email, also updates when we're doing things that may not necessarily be here on YouTube, including some of our own market sentiment data that we'll do on different projects. So check it out. It's very easy to join. And of course, if you guys want to follow me out there on X, it's @Paul Barron. We'll catch you next time right here on TechPath.